Hello, YouTubers. Today's topic is pop. Soda pop. Today I'm drinking the Big 8 Cola. It's delicious. Now, Big 8 Cola Pop is made in Stellarton, Nova Scotia, Canada. Now, do I know anything about pop? I sure do. Does a buffalo have bad breath? Yes. I was born in 1964. That's when the Beatles were just hitting it big in the USA. They were also on the Ed Sullivan Show, because I watched it. Anyhow, the best pop that I can remember was back in 1966, the first bottle of pop I ever had. It was Nesbith Orange. Nesbith Orange. It was really good. Now today, the only orange pop that compares to that is the Orange Crush is close to the Nesbith Orange. Coca-Cola pop was really delicious back in 1967. The old recipe of Coke was still in effect. Coca-Cola was good until they changed the recipe. It was good right up into the 80s, but when they changed the recipe in the 80s, the Coca-Cola pop did a thumb nosedive down. It got poorly. See, the original pop back in the olden days, they made with sugar cane, natural sugar cane, and it tasted better. Today, a lot of the soda pops are made from syrups. Lots of syrups in the soda pops today. The pop that tasted the best was sugar cane, natural sugar cane in your soda pop. Now, what were the best flavors back in the olden days? Well, there was Frosty's root beer. There was the Fanta Pops. They were delicious. There was also the Pop Shop. The Pop Shop made some of the best pop in the world. Pepsi. Pepsi was really tasty back in the late 60s. It was really good. Now, when I was a little kid, this goes back a couple years, we used to drink the bottles of beer that were quarts. Now, the quart bottles of beer were better than getting a pint. You get a great big old quart bottle of beer. And beer is good when it's cold. It just goes down like soda pop. You remember the stubbies, the little stubby bottles of beer? Those were good too. Now, getting back to the soda pop, most of the poor kids in our neighborhood, and we had a lot of them, didn't even have any change to put into a pop machine. So when we were 3 or 4 years old, we used to get a handful of washers and stick them in the pop machines. And if you put washers in a pop machine, it acts like it's real change. You'd swear it's change. So we drank thousands and thousands of bottles of pop for free, but we used washers for the change. Washer, all a washer is a circle piece of metal with a hole in the middle. That's what a washer is, for those that don't know what a washer is. We put 4 or 5 washers in the pop machine, and out would come out a Fanta soda pop in a can. Now, the Fanta pop was delicious. It was some of the best pop I ever drank. But when we were little kids, 3, 4, 5 years old, we used to put the washers in the soda pop machines and get free can pop. Now, if you're good with your hands and you have a sleight of hand, which I have, all the sleight of hand means is that you're able to maneuver things a little better than most. Now, they had the old Coca-Cola machines. That's why I'm getting to this story. The old Coca-Cola machines were like a great big ice box of metal, and they'd have the Coca-Cola pop in there. It was like a jigsaw. Like you'd have to turn it this way, turn it that way, go this way, go that way to get a pop out. So you'd put your change in, and you'd slide the first pop out. And if you were slick, like me, you'd get your fingers behind that bottle. Before you pulled that out, you'd pull the second one out for free. So you paid for one, you get the second one free, with a little bit of sleight of hand, sleight of fingers. But you had to get your fingers right behind that bottle of pop and pull them out at the same time. Because when you pulled the first one out, your fingers were on the other one, and you get 2 for 1. You know what I mean? So most kids in our neighborhood, like I said, they were very poor. They never had change for soda pops, so they'd use washers in the pop machines like I did. And half of the pop that we drank, I think when we were little kids, we got for free. And anyhow, when we were little kids, we had 3 jobs. I used to mow lawns, do the newspaper route, and I used to take back the recycling pop bottles and beer bottles. Now, between the pop bottles and beer bottles, I made a pocket full of change each day. And mowed lawns, I made money mowing lawns. I made money doing the newspaper routes and doing odd jobs. Now, back in them days, there was plenty of fish. It's not like today. Today, when you go fishing, there's hardly any fish. Back then, we used to go down to the Annapolis River and jig the shad. I don't know if you're aware what a shad is. A shad is a big fish, but it's all bones. They grow anywhere from 8 inches up to 30 or 40 inches long. But a shad is a bony fish. We used to go down to the Annapolis River, catch about, I don't know, 10 or 12 shad, bring them back home and go door to door to the neighbors and sell the shad. So back then, we'd get a quarter a shad. Now you're thinking that ain't very much money for a big fish, is it? Well, it was. If you got 10 or 12 shad, you usually got about $6 in your pocket or $5 in your pocket. You always had some money. Mowing lawns, you always made money. And we picked berries when we were kids, you know. Most kids should do that today. We picked strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and the list goes on. But you could make money that way. Then in later years, we picked apples and stuff like that. Potatoes and tobacco and so on and so forth. Anyhow, growing up when you're young, the pop tastes the best. Coca-Cola pop was delicious. The old recipe was the best. I think they should make the Coca-Cola pop today in 2020 with the old sugar cane. None of the syrups. The natural sugar cane was the best. If somebody could find the old recipe of Coca-Cola, and you know the old recipe of Coca-Cola, send it to Dennis Ramsay. I'm going to give you my address. I'm looking for the old recipe of Coca-Cola pop. Now my address is Dennis Ramsay, DennisRamsay, 27 Canaan, Canaan Avenue, Apartment B, Kentville, Kentville, Nova Scotia, Novascotia, postal code B4N2A7 Canada, Canada. I'm looking for the old recipe of the Coca-Cola pop because I want to make it myself for my own pleasure in drinking. Anyhow, the fan of pop was delicious. They made that first in the USA, and then it went to Canada. They started making it in Canada. Then it went to a few other countries. Now, Fanta Pop was delicious. It was tasty. And I wish somebody had the recipe to the Frosty's root beer. The best root beer pop in the world was Frosty's root beer. And the best orange pop in the world was Nesmith. If anybody's got the recipe to the Nesmith orange pop or the Frosty's root beer, please send that to Dennis Ramsay at DennisRamsay 27 Canaan Canaan Avenue, Apartment B, Kentville Kentville, Nova Scotia, Novascotia, postal code B4N 2A7, Canada, Canada. The only reason I spell out these words, I know most of you people can spell, but I do that for anybody that can't spell or is illiterate. I don't mind spelling out the words. If you got the recipe to Frosty's root beer, Nesmith orange, please send it to me at that address. I like the old pop from the olden days the best. Pop was good right up until the 80s, and then they started making pop that didn't taste as good. Best way to put it, just didn't taste as good. The pop was good from the 60s to the 80s. Then the pop got real bad in the 80s. It doesn't taste as good. That's Dennis Ramsay's opinion. You all take care and have a fine day. And subscribe to the Dennis Ramsay YouTube channel. Push that red subscribe button. Thank you very much. Have a fine day. I need 2 or 3 million subscribers, please. Peace out.